I've still got my big hug mug. Stefan hasn't dropped off my mine token mug yet, so he's got to get on that for me.
So, hi guys, my name is Moonshine, and today we're having Skate Monkey, and maybe later we're going to be having Stefan with us in the AMA with Mind Token Official, and we'll be having also Jude Kane coming in to ask the team some questions. And so, obviously, Mind Token is a project that enables anyone to have mental health and healthcare support access to services. And they plan to have so many utilities like the staking, the burning, and other utilities along the roadmap, and also the economics. So these are all the things we'll actually be discussing today. I'm sure you guys are actually going to enjoy it because the life work especially is a great utility that I think only Mind Token, I mean they're among the first project that has this great utility. So starting off, I'd like Skate Monkey to introduce himself, how long he has been on the crypto space, how he thought about bringing on this great project, the crypto space.
Sounds good. My name is Ed Curvan. I live in Parksville, British Columbia, in Western Canada. I've been in crypto since 2017-ish. Before that, I was really heavily into torrenting communities and peer-to-peer file sharing, and we ran some pretty large groups, but we don't need to go too far into that. My partner is Stefan Varem. Unfortunately, he had a flat tire this morning, so he's running a little bit late, but he's very consistent. I'm sure he'll show up at some point. As to how we came about the project, about a year ago, Stefan was starting to get into crypto, and of course, it was the bull run, and so all of my so-called normie friends were trying to get into crypto, and I wasn't immediately responsive as a result. But he said, how can we bring a project, or how can we build a project in crypto? And I said, well, we need a utility, right? Unless you want to launch a meme coin or something that's just kind of for fun. We need a good utility. And at the time, he was going through a divorce, and he works for a fish farming company called Cermak here on Vancouver Island, and they have LifeWorks as employee assistant benefits package. And so what that entails is that anybody who works for the corporation that Stefan works for has access to LifeWorks and their services, which is 24-hour a day telemedicine, mental support help through therapists and master's accredited psychologists. There's also financial planning and advice. There's a fitness app with customizable workout programs and access to professionals, and a myriad of other services. And so he came to me with the LifeWorks idea, and from there, we figured it was a really unique and interesting thing. And so what we did from there is we created our corporation, Mental Services Inc. The corporation number is in our pins. You can look it up. It's very easy to find. And from there, we started reaching out to LifeWorks and having meetings with them and discussing with them, what their parameters were and how we could bring their services to the crypto market. And as you know, during the bull run, of course, a lot of big companies were heavily turning their eyes to crypto. You had companies like Adidas jumping in with both feet and so on. And, you had, whole stadiums being bought up and renamed and so on. And so they took us seriously. And so through our conversations with them and some of the bosses, if you will, at LifeWorks, we came up with the idea of a staking system. Because one of the things, the caveats with LifeWorks is that we don't actually sell LifeWorks services, but we can tie them to different aspects of our community. And so what essentially happens is that people who come onto Mind Token, buy our token, go into our staking systems, they become, as far as LifeWorks is concerned, our employees. And as such, they have access to all the employment assistance benefits packages. And so from there, we were able to scale it up even further and come up with a partnership situation whereby other projects could utilize our staking portal, set their own APYs, and set mostly their own terms for their staking system. But the added benefit, of course, is that they would get the LifeWorks utility both for their staff and for their communities. And so we've already retained 2 partnerships. We're in talks with several more as well. We've got Izanagi and Snafu are already confirmed partners. Their staking will actually go live before our token even launches. We're just waiting on our dev to finish up the last of the back end stuff, and it's ready to go. He had 4th of July yesterday, so I think he's sweating off a barbecue or something. But pardon me. So yeah, that's the basic rundown of how we came to be. There's a lot more to it. We had to create corporate Coinbase accounts, which is actually more work and much tougher than creating a corporation, and things like that, just so that we're able to not only do business with these corporations like LifeWorks, but we're also able to make donations to charities over time from a legitimate corporation, which means that we don't have the holdup of trying to find charities that don't accept crypto, because that's it's a real holdup for tokens with charity aspects, because a lot of times, like the charity might be really into it, and of course they're into the donation and they're into a potential partnership, but then some board member comes along who doesn't understand crypto, or they're big stock guys and they're scared of it. I've seen it happen in the past where a partnership was destroyed by a shareholder, and so we really wanted to have that out of the way so that we never run into that issue. And same goes with our website code. We own the code. If there's a typo, we can sort it out really quickly. If information needs to be changed, we can sort it out really quickly. So we've taken a lot of issues that we've seen with other projects in the past, and we've applied them to this. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you made mention of so many great utilities Mine Token intends to bring into the crypto space. So I'll just like to ask, more detailed questions, just to bring out, the main idea of each utility you plan to have for this project. And so the first question I'd like to ask about the staking, more especially. I see that your staking contract easily allows token holders to stake for 1, 6, or 12 months. And so I would like to ask, have you actually decided on a fixed APY? And because of how volatile the market could be sometimes, so I'd like to know, would you be having like a treasury to back up this APY so that it doesn't fall back and front, and to the extent whereby investors stop earning at this APY you intend to have? Because I'm sure it would not be pleasing to them to see that your APY is no longer at that particular percent. And
Okay.
can holders on stake at any time, or would there be a penalty for staking?
Okay. Yeah, we have on the 1, 6, and 12 months pools, we have 25, 75, and 150% APYs. Those are fixed rates. We can adjust them if we need to, but we had the guys from DGEM go over all of our tokenomics, and they made quite a few changes to our systems, which I'm really grateful for, in fact. And they did that in regards to longevity of the project. And so, we added a 4% staking tax on the sell, and we added a 1% staking tax on the buy, and that helps feed into the system. The other thing that helps feed into the system is that, when we put a user on, so let's say somebody stakes in the 12-month pool, and when we input them into LifeWorks, we're putting them into that 12-month subscription. They're there. That's it. And so if they decide to unstake on that same day and try and game the system, yeah, they're going to have a substantial penalty. So basically what it amounts to is that over the course of 365 days, the penalty goes down by 1 out of 365 over the course of a year. And so, you do need to be sure that you are planning on being there for the long term. They can claim rewards at any time, though. And so, there's a non-issue with that. So at 150% APY, as long as the market is playing nice, then they're recovering their initial and they're still holding their stake. So yeah, I think that answers your question.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a very vital point I really liked, was the fact that you're going to be adjusting the APY depending on how things are in the market. So you're not over promising stuff. And I think that's something great, because I've seen so many projects promise us millions of APY and end up not achieving even one bit of it. So
Yeah, what we aimed for was long-term stability and survival of the project. I mean, what we're offering here ties directly to people's well-being. We need to survive because, we're putting ourselves in a position where people are going to be accessing therapies and so on through our services. And so, we had talked about higher APYs, but it all came down to sustainability. The system has to last, it has to be survivable. And so, uh, you know, that's just one of the key things. So yeah, we could up the APYs, but realistically, I think that between the value of the utility, 150% isn't a joke, and we're really scalable. Over the course of a year, the more partnerships that we bring on, the larger we're going to grow. And so I really I don't see those early investor staking as being at risk. Um, you know, we've got an amazing utility and we have awesome things going on and great partnerships happening. And so I just see potential for endless growth in this one.
yeah, and just to be exact, so the investors get something very clear. I see you have an early on staking fee that would drop over the course of the staking period to ensure they're able to remove their investments if needed. So I would like to know what percent is the staking fee or what's the fee like?
The staking fee is $5 for every month that you stake. Pardon me. The whole house has a bit of a cold, so forgive me if my voice cracks up a little bit. So there's a $5 per month staking fee, and it works much like LifeWorks system works. In fact, it works much like an insurance system works, whereby, so for example, LifeWorks has 15,000 corporate clients. Through those 15,000 clients, they have 26 million users. Each one of those 15,000 clients pays a fee for each one of those 26 million users. Now, maybe 10 or 20% of those people are consistently using the services, which means that the bulk of the rest of the people are helping to cover the costs. And what that means is that LifeWorks can offer these services relatively cheap, and MineToken can also offer these services relatively cheap. And just for a bit of perspective, to call one private telemed company in the United States for one phone call, and that's half an hour to an hour of general diagnosis and discussion, you're looking at 170 US dollars. To talk to a therapist for 4 times in 1 month, from a private mental health service in the UK, is over 300 British pounds, and the pricing is very similar in Canada. So when you consider that, our 1 month pool is based on a $50 stake with a $5 staking fee, and for that month, you've got access to telemedicine multiple times. You've got access to multiple therapy sessions. You can talk to a financial planner. You can get legal advice. The value of our systems is really evident when you compare it to the private market. And the difference between us and the private market is that, of course, at the end of it, you get your stake back. And so what have you really spent? I mean, it depends on the market as far as, what your hold looks like when you unstake, but you've gotten those APYs, which, in theory should easily cover the $5 per month that you're putting out there. And, at the end of the day, you're contributing to helping other people get services with the potential for gains at the other end of it. And we've also got some stuff going on for people in our staking pool. We're going to be incentivizing them by giving them first access to some of our NFT stuff as it comes along as well. So, I really think that when you look at the market value of these services and you look at the price points which we're able to offer them at, and consider that it's not even a sale, you're investing, you're staking, you're getting these utilities, and at the end you get your tokens back. I think it's a really difficult thing for anybody to compete with, to be honest. We're also the only way the general public can access these services. That's another thing that's really on our side here, is that like I say, a private company is going to cost a lot of money just for each of these individual services, never mind the bulk of the services. But they don't bring these services to the public, whereas we're able to. And that's one of the other beautiful things about having created our corporation, is that when the time comes that we start looking at fiat onboarding and putting this out to the general public, through an auto staking system, we're able to do that. There's no regulation and there's no rules in our way. And again, that's one of the beautiful things about being, fully public and a corporation, is that we can do these things. So, and that includes finding other providers. LifeWorks offers these utilities in the full gold package in 60 countries. So right now, the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom are live, but there are 57 other countries that we can add the full gold package to. That being said, the mental health services are global as long as you have an internet connection. Basically, if you're able to buy crypto, you're able to access the services. And so we're in a niche market where nobody else is. And not only that, it's taken us a year of work to get to this point. We're really, really hard to front run. And so we've got, we've got a year's head start on anybody who wants to try and do something similar, and we're running with it.
Yeah, thank you very much for explaining that part in a very detailed way. And so let's just move down to the great deal about the LifeWorks. Everyone hearing about the LifeWorks, I'm sure some are hearing about it for the first time. And so I would just like you to explain in details, because I see it's a world leading global total well-being provider, and I want to know how you intend to incorporate this LifeWorks into the Minds Token official, how you intend to use it to help people, because like you mentioned, you're not just trying to have a business where you want to take profits. You're trying to see that you really have impact in people's life. So I want to know how you intend to do this through the LifeWorks.
Sure. So the beautiful thing about LifeWorks is that they're a 56-year-old company. They do EAPs for many, many corporations. They also handle a lot of their pension plans. Pardon me. As I said, everybody's a little sick around here. So because they're, this massive, fully legitimate corporation, they have in place in each of the countries they service all the therapists and doctors and lawyers, et cetera, within that country's legal framework. Okay. And this is why, we hear a lot of other projects who are trying to do things like that, and all the power to them, but they have major liability concerns because, the legal and ethical thing that I can do in these situations is I can facilitate this. I can facilitate the interaction between, a consumer and LifeWorks. Okay, but I can't actually offer those services because I'm not a doctor, and we have to be very, very careful with that. But they have all the legal frameworks set up in each individual country, and they are exposed to malpractice if they do something wrong. And so, that their services are legitimate, or else they wouldn't be able to exist. They wouldn't have companies like Walmart and Reebok with them. So if you look on the screencast I've put here, this is our feed inside of the inside of the LifeWorks app. So you can see mind/token.lifeworks.com. You can only see this if you've been onboarded through our staking system. Okay, so the average consumer, they're going to go to LifeWorks and they're going to see LifeWorks main landing page, and it tells a little bit about them and so on. But this is where the real meat of the services are. So the first thing you probably notice is that front and center on almost every page is this Get Care Now button. And through this, you're able to speak to an onboarding agent 24 hours a day. There's a 1-800 number per country, and there's also an IRC style chat. So there's multiple ways to get in contact. And within a few minutes, they're going to help point you to the services in their system that you require. So if you're looking for therapy, they're going to put you in touch with a therapist. If you need a doctor, and so on. And I think that's really powerful because, if you've ever been in crisis, or if you've ever known anybody in crisis, what happens in those moments of crisis is directly related to what actions they take after the fact. Often people who are having issues, you kind of got this small window to get through to them. So having that instant availability of somebody to talk to can be genuinely life-saving stuff. So there is a myriad of resources inside of the LifeWorks apps. There are workshops from everything from post-traumatic stress disorder to LGBTQ issues to raising children, loss of a loved one, grieving a spouse, and so on and so on and so on. And so it's a really large resource. You can see here, here's the LifeWorks telemedicine link. You would just click on that and pretty quickly, within about 10 minutes or so, you'd be in touch with a general practitioner. That GP can do things like, I mean, obviously, if you have a major injury, you're going to a hospital. This isn't a replacement for a hospital by any means, but they can do basic diagnoses. You know, if you've got, I don't just, you know, you've got a stigmatism in your eye and you need an eye doctor referral, or if you have a, you know, a skin rash and you need a referral to a dermatologist, or if they feel that, you know, what you're describing needs blood work, then they can send you off to the right place to do that. They can send prescriptions to your pharmacy and so on. And so that's a really powerful thing to do. The other thing is that because, and especially in the United States, because they don't have the privatized healthcare like we're accustomed to here in Canada, it also comes with referral discounts, and that goes to the legal stuff too. So just reaching out to LifeWorks before, you know, you start a legal process or before you start a medical process can save you money in the long run, because they have a network of not only you know, doctors and lawyers and so on, but they also have subsidiary companies like Breaking Free Addiction Services and on and on and on. And so there's very few gaps in their system. They're quite massive. They've also got the Lift the Lift Fitness app, and through there you can create customized workout programs. You can talk to a fitness planner, and you know, you kind of give them a rundown of where you're at and what your goals are, and they'll help create a custom fitness plan through their app that will give you notifications and tell you when it's time to do certain things and so on. So it's really unique that way. You can make appointments with financial planners in here as well. And granted, us crypto people might teach these traditional stock guys a thing or two, so it might be a learning curve for everybody. But yeah, so they've also got a really interesting assessment system. And what that does is you go through a series of assessments. It asks you some rather personal questions, and then the algorithm in the system will point you to the services within the system that you know, LifeWorks deems as being most likely to be of use to you. So you see, I've only got 10 points because I did the whole thing through my because I had a demo trial when we were in early talks with LifeWorks, and so when they moved my account to this one, I haven't gone through the whole thing again. But what it does is it puts you into tiering. So you've got your bronze, you've got a silver, and you've got a gold.
Oh, nice. I can hear Skate Monkey again. Is it my network or his network? Hey, Jude, can you hear me? Is it from me or from Skate? Because I can't hear him anymore.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Okay, I think Stefan
I
is
guess
here,
this is
right?
network.
Yeah.
That has never happened to me before. I am so sorry.
Yeah, it's fine, Skate. You could just, you know, share your video again. You know, sometimes it's Telegram, TJ can be crazy, but let's
Yeah.
just
So
get back to
where was I? Where did I get to before I cut out?
Yeah, I think you were mentioning how important it is and that we don't really have to it asks us some personal question. I think that was where I got caught
Oh,
up
okay.
and
Okay.
it
So let's circle
directs
back
you
to
to
that.
the website. But I think I already understand what the whole life work stuff is all about.
Yeah, I think we're good there. The only thing that you guys really missed there, I think, was the perk system, and basically
Yeah,
what
yeah.
yeah
You
what it
walk us
amounts
through
to
that.
is, okay. I'll take us back there. Share screen. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the assessments. You work through your assessments, and it takes you to a bronze, a silver, or a gold tiering. And as you can see in here, you've got all these big name brands in here, and all of these companies retain LifeWorks for either, probably both, but they retain them for the employee assistance packages, and they also retain them to manage their pensions. So as you work through their assessment tools, not only does it point you to the services in their system that the algorithm feels is appropriate for you, but it also moves you up in the tiering process, which gets you higher discounts with the brands that work within LifeWorks. And as you can see, these are serious brands. We got Rogers and Hotel Planner and HP, and Disney's in here a lot of the time. And these deals change all the time, and so every week there's a whole new plethora of different coupons, if you will, discounts to these brands. But considering that this screen share has already lagged us out once, I'm just going to close it, and I can carry on without it. Yeah. So I hope I covered everything there, and I didn't lag out for too long.
No. That was fine. I was just waiting for you to, stop the screen share so we could focus more. So
Yeah.
I actually think this LifeWork is actually a very excellent way to, gain exposure and promote a very healthy crypto environment. So what I actually wanted to know more is about, the multi DeFi platform, the Minds NFTs. I want you to get, into details about how the plans you have created to launch your tokens on a 3 or 4 network.
Okay. Let's hold off right there. Our white paper has been revamped, and it'll be out in the next couple of days, and that section is probably not going to be there in that form. Early on we had talked about launching on multiple platforms and kind of bang bang bang, but then after some discussion we came to the conclusion that in time we will be reaching out to other platforms. Ethereum's likely to be first, but that's months and months away. We need to focus on getting our feet off the ground on BSC. We need to make sure that our early investors are safe. So that's not something that we're running with. And as I say, our community manager, Jem, has done a full revamp on the white paper. It's just in the final proofreading stages, and it'll be published shortly. So I would disregard that one. The only thing I would say is that in time we are heading to ETH, absolutely. But it will change a little bit how we operate, because the thing with Ethereum is, especially on this layer, is that the gas fees make our utility kind of useless, right? So, we're offering this low cost barrier access to all of these wonderful services, and then we're going to tack on $120 in gas. It makes it hard for us to move over to ETH in that sense. And so what we're discussing for that is doing NFT staking on the Ethereum side, so that we have the utility tied in, but we're also in kind of a more speculative market, more whale games kind of stuff. And then we'd be looking at arbitrage bridges and things like that to balance things out and create volume between the two chains. So as far as branching out to other chains right now, that's not on the agenda at this moment. Oh no, did I lag again?
I guess we can hear you clearly.
Hey, Konda wants to speak. He's on our marketing team. If you wouldn't mind unmuting.
This is Zed Konda.
Yeah, please.
Hey, what's going on? I was just gonna tell you, you didn't lag out this time.
Oh no, good.
You did cut out pretty bad before. Not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna have to take over.
Yeah, that's weird. I have a really good connection and a good solid headset. I'm not sure why I cut out there, but
it could be Telegram.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely is Telegram. Hi, Z Kondar. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but well, you actually made great valid points, and I think I'll just allow Duque, take the roadmap and other aspects of the project if he has some questions to ask too.
Sure. were you asking
Probably
somebody?
Telegram doing one of its trick again. So yeah. So I just want to know about your app, your onboarding app. I want to know how we could access that app. Is it through that app we can open like an email or
Okay.
something, create an account, and would there be like a referral system where I could refer people to use your LifeWorks and all of that? And one more thing I wanted to ask, I think I missed, was I wanted to know, your having that app, would it have like a tracker where if I have access to the LifeWorks and I'm in a certain country, I don't know how to access hospitals or health centers, and I could just easily use the app to track the closest hospitals, to access treatment, since it's not like you guys are giving physical treatments or something.
Okay, we don't have a health facility identification app in our plans. I mean, that's something we could consider down the line, but it's not, our focus is on facilitating between the consumer and the end provider. And so, if we run out of countries, if we manage to get the gold package with LifeWorks Live in all 60 countries that they offer, then we would start looking at other providers to fill gaps in our demographic to make similar services available. And again, the beauty of being a corporation is that we can do that. We have no competition clause or anything in our contract with LifeWorks, and so we're able to do that without upsetting anybody. There will be a referral system, but it's going to be built into the onboarding front end for our staking. So right now, when a user goes into our staking system, they make their stake, they finish the transaction, and then a window pops up. There they input their email, that gets sent off to a CSV file on our end and then forwarded to LifeWorks. And so that's where we're going to have a referral system tied into. It's just not coded yet, but I was talking to our front end developer, and it's really not a big thing to put together. So that's coming. As far as there was a third part of this question, we had the referrals, we had the health app. Onboarding app. Okay, so for the onboarding app, what we're talking about, and I'm gonna reference another project here because this is kind of where the brainchild of this came from. So there was a project that did a massive ICO in 2017, and they created a gig economy crypto-based website, and they wanted to have their currency used as the main form of payment from within their website. And they ran into all kinds of regulation issues about securities and blah, 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 because it's a volatile currency they were trying to use as their base payment system. And groups like the SEC just didn't like it. And so what they did to get around that is they brought on a third party. And that third party, they would take the fiat onboarding, and they would automatically convert it into the token, and then they would pay the gig economy workers, and they would just take a fee in the middle. And what that did is it separated the parent company from any potential liabilities of running that. It's like an exchange, right? And so you've got different regulations that you have to cope with. And so how we would look to do this is that we would have a third party running an auto staking system. And so that third party would accept the fiat payment, be it a credit card or PayPal or what have you. They would then take that money, they would mark it by the token, they would auto stake it, and then they would give the user the onboarding ability, so that the person would then put their email, and then it's the same process. They'd be sent to a CSV file and onboarded onto LifeWorks. Now, that's going to create a little bit more cost for the fiat consumer, because of course we've got to pay that third party. That third party is going to take a piece of everything they touch. That said, when you look, again, I go back to the market value of these services, right? I mean, 4 therapy sessions over 300 British pounds for 1 month. So if you're paying, an extra $5 fee, on a $50 stake, plus the 1 month staking pool fee, you're paying a total of $60. You're staking 50 of it. You'll pay another 5 to the third party on the way out, most likely. So realistically, $65. But what are you getting for it? You're getting not only telemedicine, legal advice, and mental health supports, and fitness advice, and financial planning, but it also includes your immediate family. And so I don't see that extra $10 or $15 as being any sort of deterrent for bringing it to the fiat market, simply because of the value of the services being provided. And so that's the general plan for that. There's other ways that conceptually we have broached this. We've actually spoken to another project who has a fiat onboarding system already. And of course, if they want to make a partnership with us and integrate us into their systems, then that's what MineToken is all about anyway. And so they would become the third party instead of who I was thinking of already.
Yeah, I think I was about mentioning that about how you feel. Okay, Stefan is here.
Stefan, there we go.
Hi, Stefan. We're so happy to see you on the AMA.
He had to go buy tires.
I hope you're fine now.
Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, that was fun. That was a little adventure.
Nice.
You're welcome to
So
the AMA. So I guess all questions will be thrown at you too, Stefan. So more like where I wanted to also ask is, let's just go into tokenomics, because I actually believe, every investor right here would like to know how you intend to spend every fund coming into the project. So you could just walk us through your tokenomics.
Sure. Well, we've got a 6% buy tax and a 12% sell tax. And before I get into that, I will say that we did change our tokenomics. We started off with 4% and 4%. But then we had some math wizards go over our project with the interest of making sure that we were sustainable. And they made a lot of suggestions and we took them because it was good advice. And so we've got a 6% buy. That's 1% to liquidity, 2% to operations, 1% to staking, and 2% to marketing. Then we've got a 12% sell. That's 2% to operations, 3% to marketing, 4% to staking, and 3% to liquidity. We've had one 50 BNB seed sale. It's complete. And we're going to be having a 200 BNB public sale, and the full parameters of that and the whitelist will be announced in the coming days. We've just got a couple of small things to button up, and then that proper announcement will be live. Now, I haven't done the started diluting market cap in a little while because BNB's changed since I last did it. So last time we did it, it was around 195K. I'm thinking we're probably, given BNB pricing right now, we're probably down around 180K or something like that. But it gives us lots and lots of room to grow. And again, our tokenomics have been set up for sustainability, and we've added some liquidity tax as well. So I'm happy with where we're sitting.
Okay, something I'd just like to say is it'd actually be nice, if you guys can start working on changing your, website, because, website is one of the ways you could also gain exposure. Everyone could have a hand on your website right now. People who do not meet up with the AMA might just refer to your website, just to read through and see what the project actually has.
What's the issue with our website right now?
No, you said you actually have to revamp the website.
No, the white paper.
The white paper, sorry.
Yeah, like I say, it's been revamped. It's about a day or two away. It just hasn't been uploaded and published. It's in proofreading stage right now.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just like us to go through the roadmap. I'll be handing that over to Jude King so he could take that part and maybe the marketing. Great to see you, Stefan. So great to see you. You look so good.
Hey guys. Yeah, Taryn asked me to shave today. He wanted it all off.
You're looking smooth.
Yeah, pretty close. A couple days it'll be back.
There you go.
I mean, you're presenting a mental health, and so definitely shaving will be necessary so you can look so all smart and neat. So, Jude King, you can take over from here. Okay, I don't know if it's just Telegram because he was on here before. I saw his mic moving or something.
Yeah, he was here. I don't see him now. We're having lag issues today.
Oh yeah, results there right below Conda.
Oh yeah, he's there. Yep.
I got kicked off too a second ago.
Oh no.
Hey guys.
Hey bro.
Yeah.
Hey buddy.
Hey. Yeah. It's really good to see you guys, Steph, and I see Ed.
You're breaking up real bad.
You guys. Oh, sorry. How is it now?
It's better.
How's it now?
It's better.
Yeah, I was like, you guys are really looking good. I see Ed, you shining, and I see Stefan is also shining with the nice hat he has on.
Are you
guys,
military?
No,
Yeah.
this one was my
He changed
my
his
gift from my
cap. I think
daughter.
Stefan
for
has
Yeah,
a bunch of caps at home.
he had to get a
Father's Day.
new hat because everyone
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
asking if he was military.
Yeah, I noticed something. In every AMA, Ed and Stefan always have a hat on.
Mhm. Well, because I'm balding
Yeah,
and
and
I don't want to show it off. I'm holding on to the last couple of strings.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I,
I just
yeah,
shaved it today.
but
you'd all be blinded
but
right
I
now.
but they say that's a sign of wisdom. Yeah, they say that's a sign of wisdom. So I guess you must be really wise for you to be like that.
That's great.
Yeah. So
Been like
guys,
that.
one of the few questions I say I'll have for you guys, the things that has to do with your marketing, because I know LifeWorks and the Mind Token project is something really big, and it cannot be possible without the proper marketing, you know. And that's why I'll just like to ask, what is this unique marketing strategy you guys have in place or you have been implementing, and how effective has it been for you? And do you plan on changing it? Do you plan on incorporating new methods? And just tell us things that has to do with your marketing.
OZ. Hey, brother.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
funny you
I think-
ask about a unique marketing strategy because I came up with one just for this token. So,
Yeah.
I'm taking a different approach to the marketing when it comes to how we work with call channels and influencers. So I created a little super pack of call channels for this, specifically for this token to try out something new. So instead of going around and paying for AMAs and paying for a pin post and posts in groups and whatever, we're gonna really partner up with 5 or 6 solid call channels, and we're gonna do ongoing promotions. So these call channels will not only do an AMA and posts, but they're also gonna have their community very active in shilling, in joining the Mind Token Telegram, in participating in AMAs and participating in other AMAs that we're holding, and just a constant promo and not just one paid promo or one paid AMA. It's going to be a constant promo up until the pre-sale. So I'm really working closely with these groups and trying to just kind of change the way that marketers and tokens and call channels and influencers work together. So there's that, and then also, yeah, this project is really just made for partnerships, right? When it comes to working with so many different, you can work with call channels, you could work with projects, you could work with tokens, you could work with in real life businesses. This thing is just built for partnerships, and I feel like with my network, with the network that we have, with the call channels, with the Launchpad and everybody else, like we can really just pull in a ton of partnerships when it comes to this token, because it's something that's not only beneficial to the other projects and call channels, but it's something that's needed in the space. You know, mental health, telehealth, teletherapy, all that stuff is needed, and if you can get it at an affordable rate and it's worldwide, there's no stopping us here, you know.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why I let him talk.
Yeah,
Well done.
makes sense. You've spoken
yeah,
well. You've spoken well.
Yeah, aside from the partnership, I mean, definitely we're gonna go on an AMA tour. I have a lot of interested channels that'll do a free promo or a free AMA, just to pretty much help out, like as a donation, pretty much for this project because it's so awesome, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty much our plan for now. And as you know, as more partnerships pick up, I'll definitely come up with something else, something special for this project when the time comes.
Yeah, that's good. Then the other question I have is concerning your roadmap. I know you have this kind of lengthy roadmap, and you must have accomplished some of the things you have on your roadmap, and there are some which are yet to be accomplished. So I'd like you to tell me where you are currently on your roadmap and what further steps you'll be taking to accomplish the things that are
You
remaining
got that?
on your roadmap.
You got that open in front of you, Stefan?
I don't have it open in front of me, but I pretty much know a lot of the stuff that we've accomplished on it, or where we're at with a lot of it. Our NFT creation is about halfway through the process. What we've done is we've developed two different NFTs for projects that don't have tokens, and one will allow us to onboard their staffing in the community, and the other one will allow us to give to them to let their members on board to our LifeWorks app. The other thing we've discussed is our game, which I won't get too much into because I can already see Ed moving there. But we've come really close to, well, we've basically got the whole design layout, and now we're just starting development on it. So we've got essentially how the game's going to flow, what essentially how it connects to Mind Token and mental health wellness, and we've found I'll just say we've found some AI developers that are really keen on working with us at this time. So that's where I'll go with it, and pretty much that's what we've accomplished on the roadmap, short of having our staking portals live within a day, I figure, day or two, and launching our token here.
Yeah. And then of course down the line we've got the metaverse stuff, but that's that's still heavily in conceptualization. We've got a lot to work on before we get there, and so the basic stuff is done. The first roadmap that we set for ourselves had things like build corporation, make Coinbase account, retain LifeWorks, and so you guys didn't even see our first roadmap before we yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. Yeah, that's really nice. So I guess this is the point whereby we get some questions from the and the investors here, and I know you guys are really ready to answer these questions. And I guess we're up. So let's start with Crypto Legend. The legend himself. You're allowed to speak with him.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jude Kane. Nice project, great project. Hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, thank you for that. I just want to talk about something which I saw on your website, which is the Lift Fitness app. I want to just like the regular ones, which you have, just the regular routines and all of that, or it's gonna be different.
The Lift Fitness app is owned and built by LifeWorks. We have no influence over what's on that app, but essentially what it is it's got custom workout routines, and you can join different ones at different levels, but you can also make custom workout plans and meet with real fitness instructors to help you create a customizable plan that will come with notifications and so on, like ding ding ding, it's time for your whatever that exercise is at that time. And so yeah, that's the long and short of it. It's a fitness app that you're able to input your own custom workout routines, or you can meet with somebody who's a professional and help you create one that suits you if you're feeling lost within their app. It's got things like an Apple Watch does, heart rate monitors and things like that as well. There's a lot to it.
Okay, grab that. Thanks for the opportunity. Good project and best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Okay, let's take another question from Faith. Faith, you're allowed to speak.
I'm not sure who you said. You broke up when you said their name. You might want to tell them again.
Yeah, I actually said Faith.
Oh, hey, Faith.
All right. Thank you for having me, VC. That was a great project, as it were. on the fact that you guys are trying to solve a major human problems using the blockchain tech is very pretty good. Just looking at the flexibility for accessibility across the world, as it were. So suppose a patient from maybe Africa needs help, and based on the recommendation that was given to the patient, as it were, in terms of maybe drugs or injection, how do you get that delivered to the person within the person's locality?
Okay. So LifeWorks operates in 180 countries, and their therapy and mental health services are global. Their gold package, and that's including the legal advice and the telemedicine, is in 60 countries. So on launch, and now in fact, our services are live through LifeWorks in Canada, the United States, the United Kingdom, but we're going to be slowly adding more and more countries. Now, LifeWorks not only has the people who work directly for them, but they also have subsidiary companies. And partnerships with other, companies like Breaking Free Addiction Services I mentioned earlier. And so that's going to be a very regional thing. Like, that's not something that I'm going to be able to specifically tell you. That's something where you would have to speak to the LifeWorks onboarding agent. That said, we're live in 3 countries. We're able to upload at least 60. And if we find that there are gaps in our services where there are demographics asking for it, we are able to reach out to other providers. And so LifeWorks is not the end of the line. If we get upwards of 60 countries and we have somebody in an African country saying, hey, I need these services and I can't get them, and we see the demographic is there, then we're going to reach out to a provider in that country and try and fill that gap in the market. And so, like I say, that the mental health stuff is completely global. The telemed stuff, it's starting off in Canada, the US, and the UK, but we'll be adding bit by bit countries based on what our demographics look like in our Telegram, in our Discord, and so on, what our community is asking for. So, for example, right now, we seem to be drawing in a lot of Turkish people. And so obviously Turkey is going to be fairly high on our list of countries that we bring on for the full package, because they're clearly a large demographic in our community. And the same goes for just about every country. I mean, there's going to be obvious ones that we're going to onboard early, simply because we don't have any sort of language barrier. So I mean, for us to onboard Australia and New Zealand is a no-brainer, because it's easy for us to communicate with them. But when you get into countries like Turkey and you get into countries like India, we have to be much more specific in our marketing and targeting those communities so that they know we exist, right? Bringing utility live in a country and then not telling them we exist, it makes no sense. And so, places like that, they take a little bit more effort on our part, because we need to create communities for them. We need to make sure that we're finding advertisers and we can market directly to them so that they know that these services exist. So yeah, that's the long and short of it, I think.
Awesome.
Did answer your
Thank you
question?
very much for that brilliant answers from you. My last question will be that before I could access your services, any of your services, do I need to hold a token? And if I do to hold tokens, how many Minds token do I need to hold to access your services? Thank you.
So you do have to hold the token and you have to stake the token. And as far as what we have is we have a $50 market value hold for our 1 month pool. We did that because we wanted to make sure that we had the lowest cost barrier access that we could. And so our 12-month pool has no cap on it with the highest APYs, and people can put in as much as they like. Our lower pool, though, as I say, is a $50 market value. So there's no actual set number of Mind token. It'll change. We'll, in times of volatility, we'll be constantly adjusting it to match what the market value of $50 is at that time.
That's right. And there is process. There is a process being put in place to automate that, but it's not. It's done after launch.
Yeah. Pardon me. And then, of course, you can also look at our partner projects, because a similar thing will apply, like Izanagi and Snafu. Very shortly here, we'll both have staking portals through us, and they're going to have their own pools and their own parameters. And so, if it's if you're looking to, put less money into the system and the utilities, then maybe one of those projects is offering that. That's entirely up to them how they want to set that. But at the end of the day, Stefan and I said from the very start that, number one is getting these services out. The vast majority of people aren't going to game us, and if a few of us do, then so be it. And so if people are in desperate need of supports, they can DM us and we'll onboard them. Number one is we want to make these services available, and the reality is that there's going to be a few people who might play a couple of games, and it'll cost Stefan and I a few bucks, but at the end of the day, we want these services out there. We want people using them, and we don't want to deny people access to something that could improve or even save their lives. We kept our costs really low, and we're pretty philanthropic about onboarding people just for a month, just to get them through a period, and when they start feeling well again, what are they going to do? They're going to come buy our token and they're going to stake it because they'll be grateful for that. And so, it all works out.
Amazing. Thank you very much, guys. I want to really commend your efforts to go this far in solving human problems using this space. I really commend you guys. It's an amazing invention. Thank you very much for contributing your own part to humanity. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faith. Next person, Shagunism.
Hello.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
All right. Do you have plans for people that can afford the charges and they want to access your service? Can you hear me?
A little bit. You're blowing a bit into your mic, and I couldn't quite make you out. So maybe you could ask again.
All right. Do you have plans for those who doesn't have money and they really need to access your services?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, Stefan and I said from day one that we would always have a slush fund around. If people are in crisis, they can reach out to us. We give out 1 month subscriptions all the time. Because if somebody's in crisis, that 1 month is going to make a difference, and that's going to give them the time to figure out where and how they're going to get the help they need, whether it's to find the money to onboard $50 for another month with us or what have you. But we're not going to leave anybody in crisis. We'll just upload them. Like I say, the vast majority of people aren't going to be playing games with us on a situation like this. People are only going to reach out to us to access these services for free if they really need to. It's going to be 1 in a million people who try and play games, and they're not going to get far with it. So we have no issue at all onboarding people who are in need of help. And you know what? Like I said before, at the end of the day, that's going to be a community member that's going to be with us a long, long time, and they're going to be supporting us. And so we have no issue with that at all.
Okay. So also, do you have any form of charity?
Yep.
Charity income.
So what we're doing with charity stuff is that we've, when we were market researching and talking about how we were going to set up our tokenomics and how the system was going to run, originally we wanted to have a charity tax. And then we started looking at a lot of great projects who just didn't make it. And time again, it sure looked like that sell pressure on the chart was the cause of the demise of these projects. So what we did is we moved the charity aspect over to NFTs. So one of the phases of our NFT rollout is to work with local to us artists to help facilitate them in bringing their art to NFTs and how to promote those in the market, get them onto, exchanges and all that good stuff. And that's where we'll be tying NFTs, or sorry, where we'll be tying charities into those royalties. And so what that does is it allows us to, as a group, not only support artists, not only create interesting and unique NFTs, but we're also able to make those charitable donations without doing damage to the chart in our community. And because we're a corporation, we're not held up by only being able to donate in crypto. We can donate to a charity. If it's a registered charity and it has a bank account, we can wire transfer them from our corporate bank account. Or if they are crypto involved, we can send it from our corporate Coinbase account. And so, we're in a position where not only are we able to do good charity stuff, but we're able to do it in a way that doesn't hurt the project. And we're able to do it in a fully legal and recognized way. And so we're not going to get turned away by potential partnerships with charities, because we're able to interact with them in the world where they're already working, in the fiat world. Working with charities in the crypto world can be really difficult. It can be difficult to find the charities. It can be difficult to convince them that you're legitimate. And you can have something as simple as a board member come along and say, I don't like this, cancel this partnership, and that's game over. We really took all that into account months and months ago as far as to how to provide that charity without damaging the chart and our holders, and that's what we came up with.
Okay, nice. Let's take another question from Solo. Hey, Solo, ask your question, buddy. Solo. Solo, ask your question.
I'm not sure who we're waiting for.
Yeah, I guess he had his hand up, but he did not say anything. So
Okay.
Let's give it to Agent.
Agent.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. You've actually said a lot about this project, and about your services. I would like to ask, talking about services is not just about health and other stuff you mentioned that actually make people healthier. Money is part of it, So, what if I have a free access to your free services? So, and I notice I really don't really need it. Is it possible for me to be collecting your 50% stuffs you are putting on it like a month? I don't know how you said you are putting it. So, can I just be collecting the money instead of the services?
Oh yeah. Yeah. All you got to do is you just stake, and when the email portal opens up,
Oh no!
Close
I
it.
think I'm getting what he's saying. Agent
Uh-oh.
was one of our winners yesterday, right? And he's looked at the
Yeah,
service
exactly.
and
Exactly.
he's
I
wondering
was
if he
part
can
of
collect
that.
the money. But we brought that up originally actually to Maxwell, that there may be somebody who didn't want the services, and if that was the case, they were free to give that winning to somebody that they felt needed it, or return it to Maxwell to choose somebody else to give it to. That was
What?
basically how that worked out. So no, you can't. We won't give you $120 BUSD to not use the service. No.
You can
Okay.
you can give the service to somebody though. If somebody in your life is needing some help, then you can absolutely give the service to them, and we'll honor it. But it's
No
not
matter what,
it's not an item that is really for sale in that sense. Do you know?
sure. I see that because there was a private store before you can enter into the platform. So what I'm really saying is not that I'm not going to need it, but I'm just saying if someone doesn't need it, normal, I might not need it now, but I might need later. That's because you have a lot of services on it. So that was the question. Do you get it now?
Are you saying can I use the service later instead of now? Yeah, if that's the question.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
still great. That's still great.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
just let
Thank
us.
you.
You just let us know. Let us know. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it. And if you choose to give it to somebody else, then you can do that as well. You just got to let us know, and we'll put you on board.
All right, buddy. Take it.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Okay, agents. Guys, I guess we'll just take like one more question before we wrap it up. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Or should Okay, let's go back to Solo. Solo. Okay, so Chief. So Chief,
Okay,
ask a
thank you very
question.
much for the opportunity. Can you hear me?
Hey, Sir Chief.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You guys really have a nice project here. You guys really think outside the box in implementing this fine project. But I'm still curious about the sustainability of this project. Apart from the roadmap, I still discovered that you guys will be having the mind game development, the mind metaverse, the mind onboarding game integration, and others. So, and while looking down in your tokenomics, I discovered that last time I checked, I didn't see anything like that. A percentage allocated for treasury. So how will you guys be able to cope with all this? Even you guys now said you'll be giving out some charities. So I don't really know how will you guys be able to cope in giving out all this, bringing out all this, because there is
Well,
no
here,
enough money here.
well, I can
Yeah.
jump on
Can you hear
some of
me?
it. Like for the last year, Ed and I have been covering all the fees by ourselves. We've onboarded well over 50 people and are covering those costs. And we've made a donation to a charitable cause with a kid riding his bicycle across Canada to raise mental health awareness, as well as we've paid for, I think, one well in Pakistan. It's not our goal, Ed's in mind, to be out there making $1 million doing this. Everything over and above, pretty much, other than 1% of any volume, is going back into this into the organization.
Yeah, and pardon me. Keep in mind as well that the contract is not the only source of revenue in this project, right? I mean, we have fees for onboarding projects. We have staking fees that should show some profit as well. We're going to have lots of NFT stuff going on, and then the other thing is that again, one of the strengths of our project is our scalability due to partnership agreements. And through those partnerships, we're going to be exposed to all kinds of talent and people who want to collaborate on things from charity situations to development situations. And so I'm not overly concerned about that. We just take it one step at a time, and we do, what's most important to the project, one foot in front of the other. Yeah, I mean, Stefan and I have each spent a bundle of our own money putting this together. We've been picking away at it for a year solid, so we're not only emotionally invested, but we're physically invested as well. And that's, I see projects throw something together in 24 hours and raise 500 BNB. Our ask is 250 BNB, and we're a year in the works here. We're a corporation. We're KYC'd with Assure, or not with Assure, with Anonydox. We've done a ton of groundwork and legwork. We're here to stay.
Okay, thank you very much for that. One more about the charity aspect. Are you guys just giving out the charity to a charity organization, or are you guys trying to find out the needy ones, those that really need it, and give it to them directly?
No, the charitable aspect that we're talking about on the website and in the white paper has to do with our NFTs and our NFT gaming. And that's what Ed was referring to previously about starting locally with local charities. So like the Big Brother out here, our First Nation communities and stuff like that, and growing as we grow with our community's consent and by basically letting our community decide where our charitable donations start to go to as we grow.
As well as taking into account the input of the artists that we work for or work with. And so, you know, when we've got an NFT or when we've got an artisan person and they're looking to work with us to bring their art to the NFT circuit, we're obviously going to want to involve a charity that appeals to them, because that's going to be reflected in their art, it's going to be reflected in their work. And, you know, I just think it's a really positive way to make sure that the people who are involved in this NFT creation are truly passionate about what they're doing, that they're not just saying, hey, here's a crypto project, they're going to help me make money. No, actually, some of these proceeds are going to go to a cause that I actually really care about. And so I think that's going to create a really diverse, you know, a diverse system of donation. I mean, obviously, when we move into some bigger stuff and collaborative stuff, we're going to be looking for mental health, because that's a main focus of our project, but it's not limiting. You know, as long as the project is ethical and it's not too political, you know, we don't want to be involving in something that tears our community in two because of a disagreement about politics. But you'd be hard pressed to find a community that's angry about donating to mental health. So I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, so that's the long and short of it, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I so much appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Sachi. Okay, we have one hand up, so we can round it up. Chef Bob.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, Chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
how you doing?
So my question is centered around the NFT. Sorry, I missed it while you were talking about it. So I was wondering, what are the incentives, like the advantage for NFT holders, or like for me, what do we get from holding your NFT or missing it? Like, what do we get? And also, will you be having your own market space for the NFT, or will you be listening to another market space?
I don't know, are we?
Stefan and I keep going back and forth about
Good
that one.
question.
You know, my instinct with the NFTs is to work with partnered projects. You know, we've got one NFT project that we're this close to landing an agreement with, and then of course we've also got the Otaku NFT marketplace that's going to open soon with our partner project Izanagi. That said, Stefan makes some good points about the NFT marketplace, especially when we get into the wellness game. It would be really nice to have a tab in there that highlights all of our work in one location. So I think he's winning this battle, and we'll be adding that to the. Yeah, you're winning. You're winning. He has a tendency of doing that. Sometimes you got to hit me a couple of times before you talk sense into me. So he's in the process of that now. What was the first part of your question again? Oh, what's the incentivization for what are the advantages? Okay. So, I mean, when it comes to the charity NFTs, you know, that's a speculative market. If that artist takes off and starts doing well, then the value of your NFT will go up. We're also looking at, not for everything, but for some NFTs, we'll be tying LifeWorks subscription utility to it. And so our front end developer is going to be setting up a Web3 connection whereby it can scan your wallet and say, listen, you have an NFT in your wallet, a Mine Token NFT in your wallet, and it has, 12 months of LifeWorks subscription. Would you like to start that subscription now? Yes, I would. Portal opens up, email goes in, NFT starts his countdown. And so that's one potential way that we're looking at that. The thing that I think is going to be really interesting, though, is going to come with the wellness game. And again, I can't go too much into it because it's conceptually not hard to build, but it's original. And I do not want somebody getting ahead of us on it, because you could launch a whole project based around our idea, and I don't want that. And so, but what it amounts to is that through the wellness game, at the end of the wellness game, you're going to be minting your own one-off piece of artwork that will be very unlikely that anybody else in the system will ever recreate exactly to the specifications that you did. And that includes some little microtransaction-y stuff with the token to add upgrades and kind of power up kind of stuff. I can't tell you too much about it, but it's freaking cool. It's unique. There's nothing like it exists. But again, it's not a hard development, and so we can't go too far into detail because somebody will get in front of us for sure. but yeah, and then and then we also throw around the idea of adding a system where you can top up your LifeWorks subscription on your NFT, or that every time it goes to market. So if you sold your NFT with the subscription on it, part of the royalty there would be a subscription renewal. And so every time that NFT changes hands, a little bit of money goes to a charity, a little goes to the original artist, a little bit goes to Mind Token, and then you've got that utility tied in, you've got the potential for growth in a speculative market. And I think our systems are going to be pretty unique. So I really believe that we'll be getting some good attention on them. They're it's visually appealing stuff. It's unique in its creation. It's got rarity levels that are set up in a way that's a bit different than what people are used to. And with the microtransaction stuff, it's going to allow you to add unique features to your NFTs. That's all I'm giving you. I'm sorry.
Too much.
I
Now,
said
now
sorry.
we gotta work faster.
Now we're getting front run. They're doing it right now.
Yeah. We gotta go. We gotta work.
Yeah. AMA's over. Gotta go. Go ahead. Oh, thank you, Chef.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chef Bob. So, guys, I guess this will round it up for today, and you might want to give us some final words. It's really nice having you guys, having you, Ed and Stefan, the military man.
Hey,
The
yeah,
military man.
we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. I would just say that we've had a lot of great developments. Our staking will be live before our tokens launch for our partner projects. We've been KYC by Anonymous, which is a fantastic KYC group.
Oh, yeah.
They're just awesome.
Yeah,
We've got
you have a project and you're looking at KYCing with anybody, I'd go talk to them. Totally. It's an excellent process and scary.
Yeah, it's scary. We're actually yes.
Please check your DM.
We're actually a little bit under NDA with them as to how their system operates, but it's high tech stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably TJ, logging Kane. I just want to say Stefan and Skate Monkey, you guys always have, I don't get tired of listening to your AMAs. I could attend like 100 times in different lounges and I don't still get tired. It's just to see if you keep bringing in new concepts. I mean, it's always enjoyable. And I always find something interesting over and over again about Mind Token Official. Not financial advice, but I just want to tell everyone here to still go do their own research. But I just want to give you an assurance that this is actually a very transparent team. And, they're not promising the whole world. They are trying to give realistic, utilities, which they are going to meet up with. I'm very sure of that. So being a part of this project will be one of the best things that would ever happen to you. And like they mentioned during the AMA, they have a referral system. And I'm sure you really want to get your family and friends on board with this great team. So thank you very much, Skate Monkey, Stefan.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you have any last words to say before we, end the recording.
No, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure chatting with you, Moonshine and Kane.
Yeah,
you guys
I always see you in our AMAs, Moonshine. You're always there. Appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah. As for last words, like I say, we're a year in the making. We're a fully registered corporation. We are fully doxed. We are fully KYC'd. Our trading contract is heading off to audit. We've got a fantastic team. We've got a partnership with the world's largest wellness e-health company.
Yeah.
We're scalable as all get out. We've like I say, 2 partnerships before launch. That to me, that's really impressive. You don't see that very often in this space. So we have a lot going for us. We've been at work for a long time, and I think the future is really good for us. The last
Absolutely.
month has just been one excellent situation after another. You know, we started off really slow, really intentionally, and now we're building to that crescendo. You know, you guys have seen us pretty well everywhere. We haven't started our pre-launch marketing yet. I mean, we haven't. This is, you know, everything we've done until now
No,
has
watch
nothing to do
our
with our
announcement.
pre-launch marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give
So
you a little. I'll give you a little one. Is we're actually probably most likely going to have a speaker come here in the next week or so to talk about his trip across Canada for mental health awareness. And
yeah.
that's Mitch Buxton is going to come create a Telegram account just to come join an AMA and chat with us about his journey.
Yeah, and just a little bit of background on Mitch. Mitch is a registered nurse. He teaches nursing in a one town over from me. He also works in a place called Couch and Lodge, which is a mental health facility as a mental health nurse. And he rode his bike from Vancouver to Toronto, which is over 4,800 kilometers, so as to raise money for the Canadian Mental Health Association, which is a fully registered Canadian charity who sanctioned him for this. He's as legit as they come. And so we're really excited to have him on, and it was an honor to sponsor him. We had our decaling put onto his chase car, so he got lots of good attention as he rode from town to town to town. And he raised over $12,000 for mental health, which is just awesome.
I think it ended up being 17 maybe at the end of it.
Well, he had 12,000 on the Canadian GoFundMe, so to speak, and then he had about another 5,000 in private donations.
That's right.
Yeah, really cool. So I think that wraps us up. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know if Jade is back, but I'm stopping the recording right now.
Perfect.
Great job.
All right.